Hello YouTube, this is non-vulgar gamer Jade Dragon bringing you another video. Today we're going to talk about the Tavern Brawl and the purchasable hero portraits that were introduced in the last patch. This is all for HearthStone, and I missed last week. I couldn't bring you the video as it launched the first time, which would have been neat. It's still not too late. There's a lot of people still catching up on exactly what this is and what it entails for their Hearthstone. It's, I think, going to draw a lot of new players that now don't have to see the game as pay to win because of the new features. Let's start off by talking about the hero icons you can purchase. So we're going to go over here to the shop, and then we're going to go over to heroes. On the bottom there's cards, adventures, and heroes, and basically they unlocked for purchase 3 hero icons that replace your hero icon. They don't bring any new spells or hero powers. They're the same, but they animate the hero powers and the hero and a card back. So I'm going to do a preview on this warrior one here, and as you can see, the flames in the background, the shield is glowing, the hero looks really cool, and then you get a card that's also animated, which is animated when you're playing your games too. This one's cool. I like it. My favorite by far is the one for the hunter, and it has you got a glowing arrow and some beams coming out. Your hero's glowing in the background, and I like this card. My favorite color is green, hence the Jade Dragon. But yeah, so I'm going to be getting this very shortly here. And then they did one for the mage. They're going to be unlocking them. Not unlocking them, but releasing them for purchase for the other heroes as time goes by. Everyone's still kind of waiting to see if they're going to make the Death Knight hero and some of its spells, which would be kind of cool if they decide to. This is the mage one. You get a pretty cool looking fireball effect here. The mage looks cool. Get a purple and red and pink background in the center there. That's kind of neat. I'm sticking with the green one. That's my favorite. Okay. So, like I said, you buy these. They're $9.99 each. You can preview them just like I did when you go in the game. And it doesn't change like your abilities or anything, but it's cool to have these card backs. Unlock them and put new heroes in there, and it just gives new life to the game. Game's already fun, but this is really cool to enhance it. Now, the biggest announcement last week in feature releases was the Tavern Brawl. And every week they're going to do new challenges that will be, put up, and you'll have a certain amount of days to complete the challenge, and then they'll be taken down, and not until the next patch day, usually Tuesdays, they'll release a new challenge. But what's really cool about the Tavern Brawl is when you win the first Tavern Brawl, see how this is unlocked? The first win in that Tavern Brawl, you're going to get a free card back of the Goblins versus Gnomes card packs, booster packs. So that's really cool. I mean, you're going to be getting a free card pack a week. They're really giving you more ways to get stuff in the game without having to purchase, which is kind of cool. Plus, it's really fun. I mean, last week the way that they did the Tavern Brawl is they took 2 bosses from Blackrock Spire, the Blackrock Mountain expansion for HearthStone, which is a solo adventure. And they basically gave you command of one of the bosses and your opponent command of another boss, and you duked it out. And I think they both had like 60 life for one, and the other one had like 30 life with 30 armor, and their hero powers were epic. It was really fun. I'm sorry that I didn't get to do a video on that one. All this wasn't set up. I'm still working on setting up better microphone, better video recording, overall bring you better quality videos, editing, cool graphics, things like that. The channel, as you know, I just started it not that long ago, so it's in its infancy, but I hope to grow it. I hope to bring you good quality, videos that, like I told you in my intro, you can listen to this at work, in the bus, and you're not going to get embarrassed by vulgarities that are thrown out there every so often. So this week they did the Banana Brawl, and what's really cool about the Banana Brawl Tavern Brawl event is you get to build your own deck. You have to build it. You can't pick your pre-existing decks. You can rebuild one of your decks if you memorize it, or maybe use a phone app to copy it over and then transfer it to the game by copying the cards. but you get to pick a hero like if you're starting the game, and you get to build it from your decks that you own. Last week, well, they were the heroes of Blackrock, so they already came from with their own decks. Cool cards that we don't even have access to, which is why I'm really excited about this, because that showed the potential of giving us the ability to use bosses and stuff. And then this one's really cool too. It kind of got gimmicky with me with the mage, and I'll explain to you that in a second, and why it was so easy to defeat my opponents. Now on the screen you only see 3 wins. I only played 4 games until I realized that this build was ridiculous, and I stopped. The first game that's not on here, which was a loss, was made with the Paladin deck, and I suck with the Paladin. I'm not the best with it, so I got demolished in seconds. So what I ended up doing is I learned from that Paladin game and exactly what the dynamics were of the match, which I didn't quite understand when I first opened this up and I read it. It said Molka is 1 year older and he loves bananas. Whenever one of your minions dies, he gives you a banana to celebrate. And I didn't quite understand the power behind what this was about to be. And basically it is exactly what it says. Every time one of your minion dies, you get a banana. And it's one of 4 bananas. They all cost 1 mana, and they're all spells, which is amazing for this mage build that I have here. And one of the bananas that you can get gives you a +1 damage, +1 health. Another banana gives you to a minion, your minion or their minion. If you have some cool idea to give it to their minion or something, I don't know. Maybe you want to boost it if you're a rogue and then cause it to do damage to the minions around it and then destroy it with a card, So there's a lot of cool stuff you can do with it. But so there's a +1/+1. There's a +2/+2, 2 attack, 2 health. Then there is a swap the attack and health of a minion, and then there's a deal 1 damage. So far, those are the only 4 bananas I've encountered, and I played the game, 4 times, so I'm assuming that would be pretty much it, because we killed a lot of minions back and forth. The same goes for your opponent. You kill their minions, they get to get a banana. Now let me tell you the deck that I build, and let me tell you why it's so powerful. I went with the mage deck, and what I put in my arsenal was 2 of the arcane missiles, which is a 1-cost mana spell, 1 ice lance, 2 of the mirror images, 2 mana worms, 1 arcane explosion, which I'm thinking I'm going to remove this one and swap it for a trog that gives me increased damage every time my opponent plays a spell. 2 of the flame cannon, early board clear here of big minions, 2 frost bolts, 2 unstable portals, 2 sorcerer's apprentice, 1 duplicate, 1 frost nova, 1 mirror entity, 1 spellbender, 1 vaporize, which comes in really handy, believe it or not. And the core of this build is 2 of the flame walkers. And by reading this, you can already understand how crazy this is going to get. If you think the mana worm was going to get overpowered, mana worm is really there. I mean, if your opponent lets it grow, shame on them. It's really to attract the attention and get them to kill the mana worms first, while you keep your flame walkers up and start boosting them with spells. And every time you play a banana on them, they're gonna do their power, which is after you cast a spell, deal 2 damage randomly split among all enemies, which means they can hit his minions or the boss. The hero itself. When the bananas cost 1 mana, and if you can manage to get a sorcerer's apprentice out there beforehand, you're gonna be doing some major combo damage with this, because let's say you have 6 bananas and they all cost you 0, and you play this, that's a grip of damage. And so you'll want to keep these protectors. The build itself, the way that I have it with these cards, there's so much versatility. You still have game, even if they kill these off, because you have the unstable portal. Yeah, it's a 50-50 chance you're going to get a really bad minion, but you go with it because you have options. You have removals. You have mirror entity, which you can copy late game, something good that they drop. We're going to boost our spells with the soot spewer Fireball, one of those to help you either clear or finish off the enemy hero. 2 polymorphs. These come in extremely handy late game. A Blizzard, which helps you not necessarily board clear, because it's a 6 mana card. By the time you're at 6 mana, some of the minions that'll be on the board will have definitely more than 2 health, maybe 3 to 5 plus. But if your Soot Spewer lives, that's a 3 damage to all minions. And my real board clears are these Flame Strikes, deal 4 damage. If I get this at turn 8 and I have 1 banana, something has 5 health, and everything else is below 4, you just cleared the board. Drop this, drop a banana, and you're good to go. This entire brawl mechanic is really, it's luck-based. So, for the same reason, I really made this deck pretty much luck-based, with the control of you're banking on the fact that you're going to get spells, and that's the most important thing. Another thing that I like that works fantastic in this is the Spellbender, and the reason that this works really well is when they go to buff one of their minions with a 2/2 banana, that means the +2/+2 will go to the 1/3 minion that this summons, which is fantastic. So they're going to be buffing your minions. So especially when you start playing these secrets late game, that's when you're going to get the most out of it. The best experience I've had so far was getting really lucky and getting a mirror image and a mana worm on turn 1. Hopefully I'm going second, which gives me a spell right off the bat to cast my second spell. But I've found that this build really snowballs into greatness really quickly when they're not paying attention. So even if they manage to clear out your mana worms, like I told you, you're still going to have minions with your Unstable Porter, your Mirror Entity, your Soot Spewer, and your Flame Walkers, your Sorcerer's Apprentice. There's still options. You're going to do some damage. You're going to be able to buff these up. You're going to keep their board polymorphed, frozen. You're going to be doing all this. You have a lot of control on the board with this particular deck, and it allowed me to win. That's a 75% win rate out of 4 games and a 100% win rate for this deck itself. So 3 out of 3 games that I played, I won. Like I told you, the first game was a Paladin, and it didn't go so well. Alright, today is also my birthday, which is going to be great because I have received the funds to purchase a card pack bundle that we can get online. Let's go and show you that. So I'm going to be making a separate video where we open these packs. Since the majority of the game is already going to be giving me goblins versus gnomes, I think we're going to be sticking to the classic cards because there's so many right now that I have not unlocked that are going to be really good, and I want to get to those particular cards. A lot of my heroic cards, my legendary cards, sorry, are not unlocked, and I really need those. I used to, when I played Hearthstone, I bought a lot of decks and stuff like that, a lot of card packs and everything, and then I ended up melting them because I found this new cool meta build, and I wanted to do it and raise to the top. And you know what? I realized those get overshadowed in seconds. They don't really, everyone is playing them, so everyone knows how to counter them. I figured that the best way to win, and I've discovered this firsthand, is to just be unique. Yeah, find combos that work, but then break the monotony. Don't follow everyone else's deck because everyone else is going to know how to counter your deck. They're going to know what card, they're going to predict the card that you're going to play next based on the fact that it's the meta and everyone's doing it. And if you see, metas don't last long. Before long, a counter card build comes out. One of the best examples of that was the Fatigue Draw Rogue with the Oracle, and I'll show it to you. I have that one still built. I kept it around. Not really sure why I kept it around, but let's show you. That was the Draw Fatigue Rogue. I'm sorry, I went to the wrong. We're gonna go to my collection here. This is the Draw Fatigue Rogue, and as you can see, it's the one that you're using Gang Up, and you're using the Cold Light Oracle because you're trying to get them to run out of cards quickly. and at the same time take the damage from that, and you're killing them with that, with pure fatigue, and it works. It's still, so it's been a little bit forgotten, so it's kind of working again, but it grew really quickly, and then all of a sudden it was useless. Everyone knew how to counter it. They knew how to stop you in your tracks. They quickly killed the Oracle, and if you didn't have the right combo, it's really based on combos here, then it just wasn't working. So my suggestion to you, don't do any gimmicky decks that you see online. Experiment. When you play the game, you can go here to play. You're already going to have decks. You'd be surprised. See how it says custom decks here? You can click that over, and the basic decks. I've played these, and I've actually won games, even today, with these decks here because they're constructed to be decent. And Blizzard constructed these for you to do the tutorials, level the heroes, and everything. So my recommendation, play with these until you really get to know each of the classes, each of the heroes, and their abilities. And then take advantage of the Tavern Brawls to learn a little bit more and go from there. Alright guys, once again, I'm keeping it non-vulgar. This is J Dragon. Please subscribe. I'll try to get more videos out there to you guys as soon as possible. Definitely going to do that birthday surprise pack opening video later today or tomorrow and get it online to you guys, so you might want to. I recommend you watching it because you're going to be able to at least see what the odds are of legendaries. We're going to keep track of that. We're going to see how many legendaries we get out of those packs by buying the maximum pack count, which I think is $70 for 60 packs. So we're going to buy this later today, and we're going to see exactly what that's going to do for us. Let's see what we get, and then I might throw in maybe a 40 pack of the goblins just to see how that compares. But we'll get to see all of that later today. So keeping it non-vulgar. We'll see you soon.